Walk with me.
In thee, O I am, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thine ears unto me, and save me. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. For thou art my hope, O Yahweh God. Thou art my trust from my youth. By thee have I holded up from the womb. Thou art he that took me out of my mother's bowels. My praise shall be continually of thee. I am as a wanderer unto many, but thou art my strong refuge. Let my mouth be filled with thy praise and with thy honor in all the day. Cast me not off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength faileth. For my enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. Saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute him, take him, for there is none to deliver him. O God, be not far from me. For my God, make haste for my help. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to my soul. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor that seek my hurt. But I will hope continually and will yet praise thee more and more. My mouth shall show forth thy righteousness and thy salvation all the day, for I know not the numbers thereof. I will go in strength of the I am God, and will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Now also, when I am old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have showed forth thy strength in this generation, and thy power to every one that is to come. Thy righteousness also, O God, is very high. Who has done great things, O God? Who is like unto thee? Thou which hast showed me great and sore troubles shall quicken me again, and shall bring me up again from the depths of the earth. Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. And I will praise thee with the psaltery and even thy truth, O my God. Unto thee will I sing with the harp, O thou Holy One of Israel. My lips shall greatly rejoice, and I will sing unto thee, and my soul which thou hast redeemed. My tongue shall talk of thy righteousness all the day long, for they are confounded, for they are brought to shame that seek my hurt. A Psalm of David, Psalms chapter 71. Yes, deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts. And let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me in my seed forever, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, we thank God for you and you. We thank God for his mercy and his praise. Yes. We thank God for his praise, to be able to praise God. You know, it's how the world is changing. Even the changing of the powers. We're at the time of the feet. Although there may be one great power in the world or a few, but those that we have known will not be like we have known them before. Even in those in the Americas and EU and Europe and all those places. Time's up. You will not be the same as you know it. There shall a new power arise, and that power ultimately will be the Most High. He will judge among men, and he will judge his people. Yes, when he does that, it's a terrible thing if you be found wicked. And also we thank God, yes, with a hand clap of praise and a cheer. We thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, and we thank God for those of you that have subscribed or followed even here and thereafter and there's about. And we thank God for those of you that have just subscribed, and we thank the Most High for those of you that are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they were. Yes. All praises to the Most High God, creator of heaven and earth. Heaven means the skies, outer space, everything that surrounds us. The stars are his handiwork. Yes, that's what heaven means in Old English. I don't care what kind of definition you might put to heavens, but there's different heavens. Yes, you get into our atmospheres of heaven, then after that there's another heaven, then after that there's another heaven. I mean, I don't know the whole thing, excuse me. But there are many heavens, many skies, many spaces. Yes, even God and even those that are of his angels, they know these things. Yes. And we're in chapter 55. Yes, chapter 55. And we ended with verse 18, and we're going to begin with verse 19. Jasher chapter 55, verse 19, as you prepare. And we thank God for all of his mercies. I mean, you have to look, you have to lean back no matter how you fall, regardless. God either is going to heal you or he's going to redeem you if you follow what he has prescribed for his people. You have nothing to worry about, no matter what comes your way or how the earth changes or how things present itself, whether something swallows you up and you're no more, or you're running around and you're sick as a dog and don't even know it. It's a fearful thing when the righteous die. God has saved him from the wrath to come and from the calamity to come. Because one thing about death, a slow death is worse than just poof. Even that of old age, you think that, oh, they lived a long time. But then in the process of their dying, there's a suffering versus he who dies in war or conflict or by explosion or whatever have you. That's quick. But to die of old age is a slow death from birth. It's a slow death until the time you mature, to the time your body is decomposing at a slow rate because of the curse put upon the human flesh or mankind or mortal man. He was immortal, he became mortal. But nevertheless, let's get into our reading, our walkthrough. Yes, walk with me. Jasher chapter 55 and verse 19. And Joseph said unto his father and unto his brethren, I will go up and tell Pharaoh, saying, my brethren and my father household, all belonging to them, have come unto me. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And Joseph did so, and took from his brethren Reuben, Issachar, Zebulun, and his brother Benoni. That's Benjamin, for those of you who still follow the transliterational way. And he placed them before Pharaoh. And Joseph spoke unto Pharaoh, saying, my brethren and my father's household, all belonging to him, together with their flocks and cattle, have come unto me from the land of Canaan to sojourn in Egypt. For the famine was sore upon them. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, place thy father and thy brethren in the best part of the land. Withhold not from them all that is good, and cause them to eat of the fat of the land. In other words, just bless them. And Joseph answered, saying, behold, I have stationed them in the land of Goshen, for they are shepherds, therefore. Let them remain in Goshen to feed their flocks apart from the Egyptians. That's because people that were farmers were abominations to the Egyptians in that day and time, according to the 66 books. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, do with thy brethren all that they shall say unto thee. And the sons of Jacob bowed down unto Pharaoh, and they went forth from him in peace. And Joseph afterward brought his father before Pharaoh. Here's another king, another Pharaoh, another leader and ruler, even Jacob, from a line of kings all the way from Abram, Isaac, and now Jacob. And Jacob came and bowed down to Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and he then went out, and Jacob and all his sons and his household dwelt in the land of Goshen. In other words, this is the rule of the land. I'm going to give respect to whom respect is due. Okay? Let's call a buck now. Don't start getting crazy. And in the second year, this is the first year that they were dwelling in the land. They were already dwelling in the land. We're talking about a time lapse. You have to think when you're studying Scripture and when you're reading it. Although it might talk like you're watching a movie, but it's not like that. We're talking about years. We're talking about time lapse. You know, you have to use common sense. I mean, this can't just happen in one day. No, it cannot. A baby is not not conceived and born in one day. In the second year, that is in the 130th year of the life of Jacob, Joseph maintained his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their little ones, and all the days of the famine they lacked nothing. Woo! God already set them up. God can do the same with you in your Goshen because of the righteousness that you have presented to him, that is his righteousness. And that is his law, statutes, commandments, ordinances, and laws. That is God's righteousness. That is God's love towards you. His love is fair. Yeah, to some in this day and time, it might seem like God's love, as the Greeks put it, it would seem like God's love is so evil and all of this and that. But the Creator, he's the Creator. A man that creates a robot or some type of machine and gives it an AI and a mind of its own, and it starts to malfunction. What is he going to do? See, this is God. Would man do all this thing? You have to realize there's times people are going to have to destroy AIs because they are going to go rampant. God is going to show you with all your electronics and all your AIs and this intelligence that you make that you're still less than nothing. You're going to call yourself, I can create better than God, although it's artificial and it's electronic and electrical and what do you call it? Hydraulics and all kind of machine and gears and servos. Yes. It's going to malfunction. It's going to go a different route. There's going to be a virus put in it, as we call a virus, or ill thoughts. Or a hacker, as Satan would be a hacker, the Satans. Hackers of the intelligence of the AI, which knows better, and its programming, its narratives, and its laws that's written in them. And it's going to betray those laws, and a lot of people are going to be messed up because of that. And then you're going to say, what have I created? You're going to try to figure out what the problem is. But the AI, see, you think you got a head on God, but you don't. God got you. God got you. We are an intelligent. We're not artificial, but we're an intelligent creation. And we have malfunctioned. What makes you think that your AI and all these things you've created is going to be even better? Mark my words. Let's continue. See, they lack nothing in the land of Egypt. And Joseph gave the best part of the whole land, the best of Egypt, And had they all the days of Joseph, Joseph also gave unto them and unto the whole of his father's house clothes and garments year by year. And the sons of Jacob remained surety in Egypt in all the days of their brother. You got to remember, the Pharaoh ain't stupid. The Pharaoh knows that I got some battle-hardened elite fighters here that are backed by even the father of spirits. So why not would he let them into his land after the things which he have heard and the history when they came through the land that God have done? Although he's looking at man, see, this is the secret of man, of religion. You're trusting in men and the words that they speak from God, not God. You're trusting in man and how they present themselves as so holy in their clothing and their tangible things, not God. See, you have to look at it. How did Satan even tempt the prophet during the time he was on earth? How did he tempt him? Tangible things. Tangible things. Being liked and loved and all this stuff. One thing, don't worry about, you give love. Love means I give. 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 Love means I give. It ain't I take or because they didn't like it or they threw it away. That is not the point. It's your heart. That's what love is. You give to your wives and all these things and they betray you. Yes, nobody likes to be ran over. You're going to get rid of them. But you gave. You don't regret giving at that time because they deserved it at that time. See, you got to live in the time that you live in. Don't start going to the past. Oh, remember when I did this for you. Remember, don't worry about that. Today, whatever kindness you show, leave it. Whatever mercy you show, leave it. Tomorrow is another day. Come on here. Stop being so hurt by the things of yesterday. Those things are gone. You did those according to your own, what you wanted to do, and that you saw fit and it was worthy. Let it be. Stop worrying over. Those are the works of Satan to let you regret that I ever gave them something. I ever did this for them. Or you say, oh, I gave my life and all the, you gave it for that time until things went cross. Even God does the same thing. We made in his image. Get it right. He gave them the whole part of Egypt. And he says right here, and we're still in verse 27. We might not even finish it for me ad-libbing. But we walking through this, pointing out things. And the whole of his father's house had clothes and garments year by year. They were dressed to the T. It's okay. You can give stuff. And Jacob and the sons of Jacob remained securely in Egypt all the days of their brother. And Jacob always ate at Joseph's table. Jacob and his sons did not leave Joseph's table day or night. You have to realize, he's saying, these are my family. I might not see them again. We all getting old. My father's getting old. I want to observe him every day. You know, those of you who have that closeness to your fathers, you need to pull him dearly to you. He might not understand you in so many ways. And there's some of us fathers that haven't even, because of whatever entities have infiltrated their minds and they have a resentment against us. That's on them. If they're grown and they're able to make wise decision and forsake their father, that's just like forsaking God. You don't do that. Regardless of how he was or how you think he was, because of a word or some things that you haven't proven and that you don't know. But anyway, he wanted his father near him. See, this was a family of polygyny. The father was the one that they celebrated because he was the catalyst of the family. He was the one that if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have a mother. They wouldn't be in the place that they're in. They wouldn't be of the family that they are. See, you got the Western world, they glorify the mothers. There can be many mothers with many other fathers, but you can only have one father, brother. That's it. one Father through a man. The man is the Father. But when you talk about a mother, she can have all kind of people and be inseminated by all kinds of men and call that one big happy family. This is satanic. It's evil. Nothing on the children, but it's evil of her to even think such a thing. The children have their own life to live. But the Father is the center of the family. By this narrative, the narrative of God, God is the center. God is the one. Think about it. See, the ones who wrote the thing about this Isus, this fictitious Isus, they made him the center of everything when God is the... God did not give up his position. Even according to his word, he did not give up his position to a fictitious character. But you have been so in the matrix of things that you think that this Isus is your God. I mean, who is his father? It's either God or Joseph. Which one? And if it's God, then the fact is God has sinned because he went against his own righteousness when he had commanded even the watchers not to lay with the creation. And if he's the son of Joseph, then there's still a flaw there because there was not to be a man sitting on the throne of David after that. Look it up. But anyway, let us continue. And Jacob, in verse 28, and Jacob always ate at Joseph's table. Jacob and his sons did not leave Joseph's table day or night. Besides, what Jacob's children consumed in their houses. And all Egypt ate bread during the days of the famine from the house of Joseph, for all the Egyptians sold all belonging to them on account of the famine. So it was not just corn, although the author or the ones who's saying this or the angel says corn, but it's everything. I mean, it could be wheat, barley. I mean, they had made bread out of barley and different things. You have to look it up. And these things can be kept long term. You can also make flour out of corn, mesa flour, yes, according to what we see. Good for frying chicken, nice and crispy. And Joseph purchased all the lands of the fields and fields of Egypt for bread on the account of Pharaoh. And Joseph supplied all Egypt with bread in all the days of the famine. And Joseph collected all the silver and gold that came to him for the corn which they brought throughout the land. And he accumulated much gold and silver, besides the immense quantity of onyx stones and bdellium and valuable garments which they brought unto Joseph from every part of the land when their money was spent. Oh, you're talking about gold thread, things that, I mean, these days are just fake, just a coloring. Those days it was genuine. Until after the fall of Egypt, then the looters came and robbed the graves and everything else. And Joseph took, and they call themselves archaeologists, thieves. And Joseph took all the silver and gold and came unto his hand about 72 talents of gold and silver, and also onyx stones and bdellium in great abundance. And Joseph went and concealed them in 4 parts. He concealed one part in the wilderness near the Red Sea. That's gone because somebody read this before and they went investigating. And one part by the river Perath. And the 3rd and 4th part he concealed in the desert opposite the wilderness of Persia and Media. See, somebody already got it. They already mapped it out. You ain't gonna find it. It's gone. It's in somebody's coffer. And he took the part of the gold and silver that was left and gave it unto all his brethren and unto all his father's household, unto all the women of his father's household, and the rest he brought to the house of Pharaoh, about 20 talents of gold and silver. And Joseph gave all the gold and silver that was left unto Pharaoh, and Pharaoh placed it in the treasury in the days of famine, and ceased that in the land. And when they sowed and reaped in the whole land, and they obtained their usual quantities year by year, they lacked nothing. In other words, sharing crops with the government. This was government-sponsored farming. This is what it was. Because you have to be careful. Even in this land, they can create a famine through their laws. The one time it was alleged that they were trying to get it to be illegal for a person to grow a garden, saying it contributes to greenhouse gases. Well, what about all these big crops? Now, you also had other things that they tried to do to get people, and then some people's grounds are poisoned by what corporations have done through herbicides. This is also documented. You can fact check it. I mean, it will grow grass, but it won't grow anything else. Your plants will grow, but only to a certain point, and they will die like a weed. And these were eaten by horses and cows in the form of feed. Now let's continue. Okay, and he said, and Joseph gave all the gold and silver that was left unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh placed it in the treasury, and the days of the famine ceased after that in the land. And they sowed and reaped in the whole land, and they obtained their usual quantity year by year, and they lacked nothing. And Joseph dwelt securely in Egypt, and the whole land was under his advice, and his father and his brethren dwelt in the land of Goshen and took possessions of it. And Joseph was very aged, advanced in days, and his two sons Ephraim and Manasseh remained constantly in the house of Jacob, together with the children of the sons of Jacob. They just wanted to know their kinfolk. You see, it wasn't the fact that he was married to an Egyptian woman. The fact of the matter was that they came from him. See, the man is the pinnacle of the family. See, we have lost that. The woman has stolen it. See, this is why they have passed laws against polygyny. This is why they passed laws against all kind of things. This is stemmed from Christianity, to be blunt. It's not Islam. No, they don't look at it that way. But to be blunt, is from Christianity, that the father is not the pinnacle of the family. You see, that's a sad thing when we find out how really deceived even the ancient civilizations, even to this day, those who have taken from Africa and all these things. Yes, women have their place. Yes, women are beautiful. I mean, they have power. They were in positions even back in the day, but still it was the father. Regardless, they understood the value of a man. Now, and Jacob, in verse 36, the last verse, and Jacob and his sons dwelt in the land of Egypt and in the land of Goshen, and they took possession in it, and they were fruitful and multiplied in it. Now, this is where you got the multitude at the end. See, this is what God wants to do. He wants to get them all in one place. No wars, nobody coming against them. So they can just be fruitful and multiply. That Levi could marry among the women, and all of them could marry amongst each other. There was no outward things, because the Egyptians didn't really, they stayed to themselves. You know, just like here, even where we are now. I mean, at the beginning, they stayed to themselves till they figure out that we were multiplying, and then they started everybody wanted to get closer. We were building cities and everything else, our ancestors. But they said, kill it before it grows, just like the record, I shot the sheriff. He said, kill it before it grows, and that's what they did to many black communities. Kill it before it grew, because they knew it would exceed even what they had. And then they would have to share. We didn't need to share no wealth, because the wealth would have been circulated in our communities and amongst our cities. But they couldn't have that. Jealousy have entered into them from the entities that were outside, the spiritual things that were going on. Well-dressed, well-clothed, cars, banks. And now we got to the point where we said we want equal rights. We didn't need no equal rights. What we need equal rights for? We was on the verge of, they were fearing that we would even get arms and start making our own arms and become major armies, and they'd have to split the, I mean, these things have flowed through their heads, and they feared. And you're going to see this about Pharaoh. You're going to see it about every captivity. The main thing why they come against you is fear. Because your numbers are growing, your wealth is growing, your technology is growing. Fear. That's why I say unto those in Burkina Faso, I mean, the ones that have given you this are no threat at all, but those that have caused all the havoc in the earth, them are the ones you must dread. I'm talking about from the Arabs all the way to the Europeans, because of fear. Now, the fact is, you have to buy all this armament to become a great people and to become, that your people might prosper. It's a praise unto the Most High that you have help and aid to do these things. But these other ones that have kept you down for so long, now they're fearing that it's soon you're going to become a superpower. And they're going to wage war. And they have already stated their intentions and their agenda, not to let you advance above them. And this has been the agenda ever since the end of, should I say, captivity or slavery at that time. But regardless, for all people of color, regardless of whether you Shem, Ham, or Joseph, or Japheth, always be on your lookout. Be because jealousy, these demons are something else. Not only amongst those who don't look like you, but even those that look like you, they're not of you. In other words, all kinfolks, all skin folks ain't kinfolks. Be careful. You already noticed this by those that are in the high positions that hate the fact that you might even get reparations or anything like that. You know these things. Then there's a phenomenon of how that a person can stay in office for so long and always being voted in, and you don't know how this thing come about. It's by design. Everything is by design. Even as the one president, I think it was Roosevelt, according to the book, none dare call it conspiracy. Everything in government is by design, carefully planned and by design. I'm paraphrasing that. But with all that, we're going to say, watch as well as pray. And shalom.